Priyanshu, summary.
Shall I read?
Yes, please.
Brutus and Cassius enter the forum with a crowd of plebeians. Cassius exits to speak to another portion of the crowd. Brutus addresses the onstage crowd, assuring them that they may trust in his honor. He did not kill Caesar out of a lack of love for him, he says, but because his love for Rome outweighed his love for a single man. He insists that Caesar was great but ambitious. It was for this reason that he slew him. He feared that the Romans would live as slaves under Caesar's leadership.
Okay, Raj, continue from where you end.
Yes, ma'am.
Continue reading. Raj, read. Am I audible, Raj? Raj, am I audible? Priyanshu, can you just tell them to read? I think I'm not audible.
I think he's disconnected. Raj, read from here. I am sharing my screen. Read from here. Hello?
Continue, Priyanshu. He was not paying attention.
He asks, yes, ma'am. He asks if any disagree with him, and none do. He thus concludes that he has offended no one and asserts that now Caesar's death has been accounted for, with both his virtues and faults in life given due attention. Antony then enters with Caesar's body. Brutus explains to the crowd that Antony had no part in the conspiracy, but that he will now be part of the new commonwealth. The plebeians cheer Brutus's apparent kindness, declaring that Brutus should be Caesar. He quiets them and asks them to listen to Antony, who has obtained permission to give a funeral oration. Brutus exits.
Okay, so this is where Brutus exits. Are you tired, Beta?
No, ma'am. Ma'am, but they are coming, so I'm not able to read them. So
I'm there. You continue.
Antony ascends to the pulpit while the plebeians discuss what they have heard. They now believe that Caesar was a tyrant and that Brutus did right to kill him. But they wait to hear Antony. He asks the audience to listen, for he has come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. He acknowledges Brutus's charge that Caesar was ambitious and maintains that Brutus is an honorable man. But he says that Caesar was his friend. He adds that Caesar brought to Rome many captives whose countrymen had to pay their ransoms, thus filling Rome's coffers. He asks rhetorically if such accumulation of money for the people constituted ambition. Antony continues that Caesar sympathized with the poor. When the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept.
Okay, Shreyas, continue.
Yes, ma'am. He reminds the plebeians of the day when he offered the crown to the Caesar 3 times, and Caesar 3 times refused. Again he ponders aloud whether his humility constitute ambition. He claims that he is not trying to disprove Brutus' words, but rather to tell them what Antony, knows. He insists that as they all loved Caesar once, they should mourn for him now.
Yes. Can you relate it to what you have in the text, children? Yes. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
After Brutus, it was Anthony who comes down, takes up the stage, and now initially he begins his speech by asking the people to pause, mourn for the dead person. Yes. Then what he does? Yes, Anthony.
Ma'am, may I continue?
Yes.
Antony pauses to weep. The plebeians are touched. They remember when Caesar refused the crown and wonder if more ambitious people have not stepped into his place. Antony speaks again, saying that he would gladly stir them to mutiny and rebellion, though he will not harm Brutus or Cassius, for they are again honorable men.
Yes. So he's not trying to hurt Brutus because Brutus is an honorable man. He's just trying to convey what is right. And he left towards the end,
He then brings out Caesar's will. The plebeians beg him to read it. Antony says that he should not, for then they would be touched by Caesar's love for them now. For them, they implore him to read it. He replies that he has been speaking too long. He wrongs the honorable man who have let him address the crowd. The plebeians call the conspirators traitors and demand that Antony read the will.
Yes, Priyansh.
Finally,
Wait, yes, Priyansh. I don't want one person to be tired. Yes, Priyanshu, can you continue reading?
Okay, ma'am. Finally, Antony descends from the pulpit and prepares to read the letter to the people as they stand in a circle around Caesar's corpse. Looking at the body, Antony points out the wounds that Brutus and Cassius inflicted, reminding the crowd how Caesar loved Brutus, and yet Brutus stabbed him viciously. He tells how Caesar died and blood ran down the steps of the Senate. Then he uncovers the body for all to see. The plebeians weep
So
and become
reminding the people that see Caesar had loved Brutus, but what did Brutus do in return? He stabbed him, right? Yes or no? Okay.
yes, ma'am.
Uncovers the dead body so that everybody sees, how, he has killed him. All right, next. Continue.
Antony says that they should not be stirred to mutiny against such honorable men. He protests that he does not intend to steal away their hearts, for he is no orator like Brutus. He proclaims himself a plain man. He speaks only what he knows. He says he will let Caesar's wounds speak the rest. If he were Brutus, he claims, he could urge them to rebel, but he is merely Antony.
Can you see how he is saying, the way he conveys the message to the people? Just scroll down a little bit. Can you mark in this particular lines? What he says that he proclaims himself as a plain man, right? He speaks only what he knows, all right? And what I say, if he were Brutus, his claims he could urge them to rebel, but he is not Brutus. Who is he? He is merely Anthony,
Antony.
common man, right? How he is justifying himself? Yes. Continue.
Yes, ma'am. The people declare that they will mutiny nonetheless. Antony calls them to let them finish. He has not yet read the will. He now reads that Caesar has bequeathed a sum of money from his personal holdings to every man in Rome. The citizens are struck by this act of generosity and swear to avenge this selfless man's death. Antony continues reading, revealing Caesar's plans to make his private parks and gardens available for the people's pleasure. The plebeians can take no more. They charge off to wreak havoc throughout the city. Antony, alone, wonders what will come of the mischief he has set loose on Rome. Octavius' servant enters. He reports that Octavius has arrived at Caesar's house, and also that Brutus and Cassius have been driven from Rome.
Yes. Clear? Clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Men, and they did the right thing by killing Caesar.
So initially at the beginning of the scene, all the citizens agreed with whatever Brutus told them, and they believe that Brutus has done a very right thing by killing what? By killing the Caesar, right? Yes or no? So this was their opinion in the beginning of the scene. How did the opinion change towards the end of the scene? Did it change? First I should ask
Yes,
that.
ma'am. After
Yes,
reading the will of the Caesar by Mark Antony.
Okay, will though they found the will towards the end, but before he could read the will, they were already convinced with him, right?
Yes, ma'am. Because of the words he told, like the speech, by the speech, the strongness in the speech of him, he supported him.
Correct. Very good. Very good. Okay. To justify his point of view and reinstate Caesar, Antony gives three proofs of Caesar's modest ambition. What are the three proofs? Come on, very simple. How is he justifying that Yes, children, online students. Yes, yes. Number one, first proof.
Ma'am, actually, I'm not aware of it as I have not read
Three
that
proofs.
part.
Any guesses?
Ma'am, the first proof is that Antony presented to Caesar on the festival of Lupercal three times the kingly crown, but then Brutus,
He
but then
rejected it. Correct.
yes, ma'am, but then Caesar declined that.
Right, right. Caesar rejected the crown. This shows that he was not interested in that particular
Ma'am,
status.
he got many
Second proof.
captives. Ma'am, he got many captives in Rome. Rome.
Sorry, can you be louder, please? Yes.
No, ma'am. Ma'am, I thought that it will be he brought many
Okay,
captives to
okay.
Rome.
Yes, Priyanshu, second proof. Your first proof is right. Second proof.
Ma'am, the second proof. Ma'am, I'm just seeing that.
Ma'am, can the third proof be that he gave all his money to the people
Yeah, correct, correct. No,
and
that
all his
cannot be the
property?
third proof. That will be the second proof that he gave the
Okay.
money right to the Roman citizen. And
After
third
his
would be what? He gave his private parts, isn't it?
yes, ma'am.
Yes. To show that he was ambitious, he had things, but it was for what? For the people of Rome, isn't it? Next, for
Yes, ma'am.
Brutus is an honorable man. This phrase is repeated several times throughout the text. Do you agree? For Brutus is an honorable man.
Yes, ma'am.
Every time he's saying against Brutus, he's adding this particular phrase that he is very honorable man. Okay. Now, sparkling doubt in people's mind. Bring out two instances where these words have strong underlying meaning. That means he is criticizing Brutus, but he is also saying that he is an honorable man. Come on, give me two examples from the text itself. Which
Ma'am,
one?
Can I?
Yeah, yes, yes. Yes, Aditya? Was it you, Aditya? Okay, Priyanshu, go ahead.
Ma'am, the first instance is that, ma'am, Antony says that while they stabbed him, so if Antony reveals the real reason why they stabbed him, it would do them all wrong. Means it will prove all of them, Brutus and Cassius, wrong, who are honorable men.
Right. This is there right in the beginning where he starts his speech, right, Priyanshu?
No, ma'am, it is after in the second part of his speech.
Yes. Before the will, before the will. This is there.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Next, one more example. Where he is, telling about Brutus, which is yes.
And yes, ma'am. And the second example we can tell is that, ma'am, after he reminds them of the will, there is that he won't read the will because he fears that he will wrong the honorable man whose daggers have stabbed Caesar.
Correct. That means he is directly saying that if he reads the bill, people will be against Brutus, but Brutus is again the almost honorable man. Okay, fine. Got it, everyone? Next question. Why does Mark Antony refer to Caesar's will but not read it out? What reason does he give for his refusal to do so? How does the public react to at this instance? Okay, so for you remember he said that he had the will, and you remember the incident where people who are citizens were telling him, please read out the will, please read out the will. So tell me why he was not willing to read it out.
Ma'am, he was not willing to read it out because according to him, like he told that after reading the will, you all will be very shocked and you all will be like
Against
you worried a lot.
you
Ma'am,
will be
means
against
you all
me.
will be very emotional after this,
And they
after
will
reading
become
the will.
mad.
Mad
Ma'am,
at
and
whom? Mad at whom?
Ma'am, mad at the British.
Brutus. Ma'am, I also think that he did that purposely, so they would purposely insist. So they would insist Antony to
Correct.
read
He
the
wanted
will.
to develop that curiosity among people. But then his main intention was to, bring the true face of with this. How does public react to this instance? What was the reaction of the citizen?
Ma'am, like they all were
They
forcing or just we can tell just begging to the Antony to just tell the
You
will of
can't
the
say
Caesar.
begging. You can't
Ma'am,
simply. Can you use
ma'am, just they were
example?
asking or forcing or being forcing him to read the will of the
Yes,
and
yes.
Caesar.
All together, they started forcing him. They started, requesting him because he was successful in developing curiosity among these citizens. Yes, a kind of curiosity was developed,
Yes,
and now they are quite suspicious to know what exactly was there in his bill.
Ma'am, can I add one more line to the second one? What
Huh.
Ma'am, the reason
Is she audible to you all?
no, ma'am.
Loudly.
Yes.
the reason is one thing that can also be that he said that you people will cry out if you hear this is will because we had immense love for you all and we have mentioned something like this.
Okay. So according to her, she gave the answer of the second half of the question that what reason does he give for his refusal to read the bill? Why was he not ready to read the bill? Because he thought that if he reads the will, not a bill, it's will. Okay, if he reads the will, people will what? Cry, right? They will start weeping. This is mentioned in the text. Got it? Children, am I audible? Online students?
Yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Have you all understood? Till fourth
Yes,
question.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Mark Antony hoped to achieve by giving a detailed description of assassination. Does his plan succeed? Okay, he gave a detailed, description about the assassination. Okay, assassination means killing, how he was killed. Okay, why do you think he had done that? Why did he give a detail? Why do you think that he, showed the people, the citizens, all his wounds? What was
Ma'am,
it?
so that the
To make
people
the
can
crowd angry.
understand the pain of the Caesar and be like him and like defeat the Brutus or be like a enemy of a Brutus.
Okay. What else? You're correct. Anybody else would like to add to it?
To put the crowd against Brutus and expose him.
Very good. Because he was now in the next speech, he was about to read the will, right? So he wanted to make them mentally prepared for it. Apart from that, what do you think? Was he successful in his plan?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Ma'am,
How?
also, ma'am, like instead of reading the will, knowing the will only, they started to argue. Like they started uh, to like
They were
prepare to
convinced.
fight against the Brutus.
They were convinced with
Yes,
Mark
ma'am.
Antony, right before the bill was read. I don't know why I'm saying bill again and again. Okay. Chalo. Clear? Fifth question.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Where's Priyanshu gone? Are you there, beta? Priyanshu? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Why does reading out Caesar's will further inflame the crowd and turn them into a mob? What happened, when he had read the will? What did they do? Come on, let's see who will give me the answer.
Ma'am, can I?
Yes, anybody from online?
Ma'am, can I?
Yes.
Ma'am, like first of all, in the will which was of Caesar, it was like he is giving 75 ma'am,
No, you do not
deficits.
have to. You do not have to see. Refer to the question. Stick to the question. You do not have to justify what was there in the will. You just have to give an answer that why the crowd was inflamed after the will was read.
Ma'am, ma'am, the
The
crowd was inflamed after reading the will, ma'am, because after seeing the love of Caesar for them,
Huh?
and after, like how Caesar loved him, the Roman citizens.
Okay. Anybody else? Good.
and since Caesar also died, he was stabbed many times. So after hearing the injustice and his will, that made the crowd very angry and uh, made them turn against Brutus.
Okay, which word shows that the crowd was angry from the text? Come on, let me come. Let me, ask you that. Let's see. See, I'm not referring to the text. Come on, let's see who will tell me. Which word shows? What shows that you were angry? You remember in the when
Ma'am, he will burn Brutus' house.
okay, very good. This is one example. What else? They're going to burn British house. What else?
Let not a traitor live. Revenge about seek burn fire kill. They were all saying all of that to kill the traitor.
Yes, read it loudly. Kansa, what you said?
So
Give the
all of the crowd was saying, revenge about seek
very
burn
good.
fire
Very
kill
good.
slay. Let not a traitor live.
This is what I was waiting for. Revenge. Now that shows that the crowd is inflamed. Now they want to. Now they are not just pitying on the dead person. Now what they want? Now they want to take the revenge of Caesar's death, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good answer. Very good. I hope you all understood Shreyas and Priyanshu.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Next, last question. Okay. What does the mob plan to do to avenge Caesar's assassination? Okay, this you all understood. What they do? I'll just give the answer.
They wanted to burn the house.
They wanted to burn the house. They wanted to take the revenge. Okay. Was this
And
the
ma'am,
reason?
they also called the honorable man, which were like they earlier called Brutus the honorable man, now they call them as the traitors.
Correct. This also you can include. Very good. Yes.
Ma'am, Miss Wigated, they transformed an honorable man to a traitor after reading the will.
Yeah, and throughout Mark Antony's speech, he also did the same thing. Now he
Yes, ma'am.
pointed out at all his mistakes, what he had done, and how he had killed mercilessly, killed Caesar mercilessly, but still he was adding one sentence. No, he's still an honorable man. So that was contradicting. Can you see?
Ma'am, it was like a
Yes, ma'am.
backhanded compliment he kept
Correct.
on
Ma'am, he was
saying.
like all his speech, he was just pointing the Brutus, like also in his speech, like I'm not like a speech teller like Brutus and all of that.
Correct. Okay, so what is the work and this we had answered. Okay, was this the reason? 1 minute. Was this the reason Mark Antony to requested permission to address the citizens? Okay, what do you think?
Not yet.
What was this the reason Mark Antony to requested permission to address the season? Yes, Ria.
Yes, ma'am. This was only the reason why Mark Antony requested permission to address the citizens because in the starting it was mentioned that Caesar was my very dear friend and he wanted revenge from Brutus, which he could do only when a full mob is there.
Yes. Apart from that, if you will see in the towards the beginning of the scene, everybody was convinced with the speech given by Brutus. Okay, and nobody was
Yes, sir.
their intention. They all agreed to the fact that yes, Brutus, whatever he has done, it was justified. His acts were rightly justified. Yes. But now the entire outlook has been changed because of Mark Antony. And if you will
Ma'am,
remember,
can I add one more sentence in the last question?
tell me.
Ma'am, like the reason Mark Antony requested permission to address the citizen was to make Caesar, which was like a rebel for the citizen at one point of time to transform him into a worthy person or a true
Yes,
lover for
yes.
the citizen.
Very good. This is what even I was coming to. If you will remember, before Mark Antony came up on the stage and before he started with the speech, he was addressed as the most honest person. Yes? Just go through your
Yes, ma'am.
text. So that shows that people had faith in whatever his perception was. Mark Antony's perception. Alright, I think it's time up. We'll stop you for today. I hope you all got the answers. 7 questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll stop you for today. The remaining